Okay, there we go. Alrighty, hello there, seventh graders. This is Mrs. Oliver here giving you today's new topic. We are starting two-step equations. Okay, two steps means where we had one step, you only had one operation in your equation. So like if we had 2x equals 10, there is only one step. So we're going to take it up a next level of having, like, say, negative 3r minus 6 equals 9. Okay, now we're going to have two operations that we're going to try to get rid of, which means we're going to have an extra step that we're going to have to do. But today, let's talk about how we're actually going to do this modeling wise, okay, and what it would actually look like. Okay, so what we just finished with was solving one-step equations with rational numbers. Okay, we had to solve them and check them. That is always a requirement because as we are now progressing, these are going to be even more difficult equations. And eventually, you're going to get to either these two-step and multi-step equations that you're going to solve. Okay? Okay, so this is going in our notes. We are still in Unit 3. And you're going to glue them in. Today, we are going to focus on the first page with problems 1 through 4. If you're doing this at home and you're wanting to practice the modeling and not just draw it, then you can get paper plate, some play money, or make some counters. Today we're going to focus on using just whole plates. Okay, you're going to want at least 4 circles. All right, so we say you're going to the store and you're trying to get a new phone and phone plan. The phone itself costs $30. But the store is like, hey, we need you to pay 2 months of service in advance so that they know you're not going to just take the phone and then not pay your bill. So if our total bill is $70, how much is the total cost of each month? As with any problem, we need to look for the important information. Okay, so important information that they gave us. How much does our phone cost, being $30? We're paying 2 months of service and our total bill is $70. Okay, that's all the important information we need to make what we need to find out. Okay, so we have 2 months of service. That's going to be our plates or also our variable. Okay, say for service, we're going to use S for service. Okay, then they tell us what else. How do we know what our total is? Well, we know we have to equal whatever the word total is. And this is where some of the play money comes in handy. Okay, so this is 50 right there, 60 and 70. Well, what else are we paying for when we walked into the store? Well, we also paid for our phone that was $30. And what they want us to find out is how much is it for 1 month of service. It says each month. So basically that means how much is it for one? That's what we're trying to find out. Okay. Well, if we have positive 30, we know what is the opposite of a positive? A negative. Say we're putting some negative 10s in there to make our 0 pairs. Just like we would over here if I had to take out 3 of these. Okay, so we'd say basically these are now gone. So then we have to figure out with what is left, how much goes on each plate. Well, if I had to split it up, I would put a 10 here, a 10 here, a 10 here, and a 10 there, right? To make it that is each the same. We have our 10s floating here. So how much does each month of service actually cost? Well, we're going to say 20 bucks here. Okay, so S equals $20 for each month of service. Okay, so that's one way that you can model. Now we're going with the phone plan again. This time though, it says our phone costs $40. So we're going to put 40 bucks up here. 40 bucks. Okay. The phone costs 40 bucks. And then the store demands you to do 3 months of service. So that's our service there. How much are we paying in total? 160. That's a lot, isn't it? There is 5, 10. Nope, there is 50, 100, 150, 160. All right, so let's find out. We want to get it all of our stuff down. So for each 10 I cancel, I want to cancel out the other side. We're going to cancel these out. So I canceled out 4 on one side and I canceled out 4 on the other side. Well, now I need to do this by 3s. Okay, so how many do I actually have? I have 5, or actually this is 50, 100, and then 20. So I want to split up my 12 different 10s with each of these. So if I split up 12, right there is 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we could say now that these are equal. So how much is it for per month? It is $40. So we'd say 1 month of service is then $40. Okay, so remember, we got to keep it balanced. So if I take some 10s away from the left side, I have to take some 10s away from the other side, just as if we were just only adding or subtracting in a one-step equation. Okay. Our last 2 problems, this time, we're just going to draw the situation like we did before. Okay, so Huda bought 3 video games and 2 movies for her brothers. Each game cost $20 in all. Each video cost $20. And in all, Huda spent $120. What was the cost of one movie? Okay, so what did she buy though? Well, she bought, we know, some movies. She bought video games. And in all, that was $120. Okay. Each video game was $20. Okay. But what's 20 times 3? We know that is 60. Okay, so that means we have to put 60 bucks up. Okay, as we think this out. So I'm going to reset 60. I'm going to put my 5 or 50, 60, 10, 50, 100, 110, 120. But we got 2 movies. Do we know how much the movies were? No, that's what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so let's figure out how we can cancel these out. So I'm going to cancel out for every 10 on the left side, I take out a 10 on the right side. For every 10 here, 10 there. Okay, so we're going to take out 6 10s on both sides. So what does that leave me with? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We have to split up that 60 between our 2 movies here. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so how much is it per movie then? Each movie is $60. Or no, not 60, that's what we had, $30. All right, last one, and then you'll get to practice some on your own to see how you are doing with this. Santiago bought 4 burgers and 2 small soft drinks for his friends. Each small drink cost $1. Okay, so if we know we had burgers and we had drinks, small drinks, and we spent $14. That's basically kind of the setup of our equation. All right, so each small drink was $1. So I'm going to bring up my ones, or if you're not using, we can use our pluses. Equals, and then let's put our 14 pluses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do a second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we had 4 burgers. Do I know how many burgers? Or how much each burger is? No, so I'm putting 4 B's in here, because those are my variables that I'm trying to find. Okay, well, we need to get rid of these 2 positives. Well, what's the opposite of a positive? A negative. Okay, and so since I took out 2 negatives there, I gotta take out 2 negatives over here. Those are our 0 pairs that canceled out. All right, now I have 4 B's, 4 burgers that we need to separate. Now if we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, well, if you remember when I talked before about how you can do a division is by splitting them up. Well, what do we know about 12 and 4? Okay, we could model this with giving, let's go with a little bit thicker of a line, so it almost looks like a dot, and purple. I'm going to split them up between each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that means each one is worth $3. So I'm also separating them over here so that you can clearly see that B equals $3. Okay? All right, you need to pause this, fill it up. Then you are going to do next an exit ticket for your teacher. Okay, so this is in your textbook. If you are more of a paper person and you have that handy, rip that out and do it and then turn it into teacher. Or you can do it here on your Cami, especially if you are virtual today. Okay, this is in the textbook, page 467. Okay, all right, I hope you have a great day and make sure you reach out to your teachers if you are confused.